Hello viewers, welcome to my orchid world. Today we will talk about overwatering orchids, why we tend to overwater our orchids, what are the consequences of overwatering, and how can we save our orchids from the consequences of overwatering. So let's start. Watering orchids is a crucial act that you should be taking care of your orchids, and you should be doing it when you take care of your orchids. Water rejuvenates your orchids and keeps it healthy, but generally we tend to confuse when to water our orchids. The general rule is that when the potting media is dry or when the roots are dry or silvery, we should water our orchids. But generally what we do is we think that orchids need water, so we keep on watering them without even checking the media. As a result, overwatering happens. The signs are usually shown in the leaves. The leaves will kind of decompose, and if you touch it, it will be just water in your hands. Together with this, it gives out a foul smell of decomposition. The roots will also become soft, mushy, and brown colored, and also gives out foul smell. This is when we need to take care of the orchid and should take immediate action. If we do not take timely action, we may lose our orchid. The decomposition of the leaves gradually aggravates and it leads to a more serious issue, that is crown rot. And if crown rot happens, it becomes really tricky to save your orchid. So let us see how we can save our orchids. So best way to prevent crown rot is to cut off the leaf and apply cinnamon powder. You see, cinnamon powder is a very effective solution for preventing rot of any kind. Apply the cinnamon powder to the crown properly and spread it all around the crown so that it covers all the decomposed parts, so that rotting of further tissues in the crown may be stopped. I'll show you two cases where you can see how timely action is really crucial, and you can see how when I took timely action, one orchid was saved and the other I just totally lost it. In one of these orchids which you see on the screen, I applied cinnamon powder immediately when I saw a leaf overwatered due to rain. Luckily for me, I could save this orchid, and it was sitting in a humidity tray because last few days back it was very hot and the leaf somehow got limp, and I suspected dehydration, so I made it sit on a humidity tray. The consequence was that the media was continuously soggy and it led to the leaf rot, and it was gradually approaching the crown. So I applied cinnamon powder. As soon as I noticed it, you can see part of the leaf that was left is also damaged, but it could not proceed to the crown. I could save the crown, and on screen you can see a small leaf emerging. This was few days back, and it is showing signs of revival. The new leaf is emerging. As you can see, a tiny leaf emerging in the crevice of the old leaf, and I am sure it will be saved. In case of this orchid, as you can see, the roots are fully decomposed, all dead roots are left. I could not save this orchid because I didn't really notice it that it was overwatered. It was sitting in water, and eventually I tried to revive it by applying cinnamon powder, but it was of no use and I just lost the orchid. In case of species, I always have said that they are more hardy, more immune to all kind of stress, including overwatering. Even if you water your orchids more than the required amount, in case of species, there are better chances of survival and better chances of recovering from the rot. In case of this ventious species, you can see the mother plant has died off. there was some unknown reason behind it. I just could not figure it out why the mother plant died off. But the mother plant, when it was almost dead, there was only one leaf left. That single leaf kept on producing food for the orchid, and one day I noticed a small tiny kiki on the mother plant. The kiki has grown now. It is almost 3 years. In another 2 or say 3 years, hopefully I will be able to see blooms on this orchid. So you see, in case of species orchids, there are better chances of recovering, better chances of survival. Even if the old plant dies, it tends to produce kikis on the previous orchid, previous old mother plant. And this is not usually seen in hybrid orchids, because I have lost many hybrid orchids in my initial days of growing orchids, and I have not seen hybrid orchids showing this kind of struggle for survival, you can say. Species orchids have a tendency of producing kikis at the base or on canes in case of dendrobiums. You must have seen my video on Dendrobium nobile, where you saw that there were multiple number of kikis growing on older canes. In that way, they have a better survival rate than the hybrids. They are more immune than the hybrids and are less hassling in terms of care. But I do not say that growing hybrids is altogether not beneficial. They are better in terms of color of the blooms and more number of blooms, and we can have variety of colors. So hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.